Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Sri Commerce Classes. Please subscribe my YouTube channel and also share to your friends. In last session we discussed some problems on labor variances, and this session also we are going to discuss some tough problems on labor variances. In this problem, a gang of workers normally consists of 30 men, 15 women, 10 boys. They are paid at standard rate per hour as under: men 0.80, women 0.60, boys 0.40. In normal working week of 40 hours, the gang is expected to produce 2000 units of output. Okay, this is rated to standard. And during the week ended 31st December, the gang consists of 40 men, 10 women, 5 boys. Actually paid wages were 0.70, 0.65, 0.30 respectively. 1600 units were produced. These rated to actual. The standard they are given for 2000 units. The actual is 1600 units. And one more important thing is 4 hours were left due to abnormal idle time, and they asked to calculate wage variance, also known as labor cost variance, wage rate variance, labor efficiency variance, idle time variance, and gang composition variance, that is also known as labor mix variance, and labor revised efficiency variance or labor yield variance. So before going to solution, so I want to explain this problem one more time. In this problem, they are given standards for 2000 units of output, which consist of 30 men, 15 women and 10 boys, and standard rate is men 0.80, 0.60 and 0.40. That is the standard rate per hour. And they produce 1600 units. They produce 1600 units consist of 40 men, 10 women and 5 boys. So we have to do some basic calculations of finding out standard cost and actual cost. We need to find out standard cost for 2000 unit and actual cost for 1600 units. For men consist of 30 and they worked 40 weeks, and total hours comes to 1200. The standard hours for men is 1200, standard hours for women is 600, and the standard hours for boys is 400. Total standard hours is 2200, and total labor standard cost is 1480. Actual hours is 1600 for men and women 400, boys 200. Actual hours is 2200, and total actual labor cost is 1440. These two things is consist for 1600 units, and the standard is for 2000 units. Let's we calculate one by one labor variances. First one is labor cost variance. Labor cost variance is equal to standard hours for actual output into standard rate minus actual hours into actual rate. Okay, in this problem we need to calculate standard hours for actual output. The actual output is 1600, standard output is 2000, but we need to calculate standard hours for actual output. Standard hours for actual output we need to calculate. See, standard hours for men is 1200, total standard hours is 2000, actual output is 1600. For standard hours for actual output is for men is 960. In case of women, standard hours is 600. The 600 standard hours is meant for 2000 output. What about 1600 output? Actual is 480. And boys, 400 is the standard hours for 2000 output. What about actual output is 1600. For 1600 output, the standard hours for boys is 320. Next we can calculate the labor cost variance. Labor cost variance is equal to standard hours for actual output into standard rate minus actual hours into actual rate. For men, standard hours for actual output is 960 and standard rate is 0.80 and actual hours is 1600 and actual rate is 0.70. It comes to the adverse 352. Like that we need to calculate for women and boys. See, and total labor cost variance is 256 adverse. I want to repeat one more time. In this problem, the actual output is 1600. The standard output is 2000. So we need to calculate the standard hours for actual output. The actual output is 1600. This 1200 standard hours is meant for 2000 output. What about for 1600 output is 960. 960 is standard hours for 1600 output. That is very important in this problem. Next we can go into calculate the labor rate variance, which is also known as labor pay variance. The formula to calculate the labor rate variance is standard rate minus actual rate into actual hours. For men, standard rate is 0.80, actual rate is 0.70 and actual hours is 1600. It comes to the 1600 favorable. The total labor rate variance is 160 favorable. Next we are going to calculate the labor efficiency variance. The formula for labor efficiency variance is standard hours for actual output. You should be very careful. Formula is standard hours for actual output minus actual hours into standard rate. See, standard hour for actual output for men is already we calculate, it is 960 minus actual hours is 1600 into standard rate is 0.80. It comes to the 512 adverse. Like that only we need to calculate for women and boys also. The final labor efficiency variance comes to the 416 adverse. So, and next we are going to calculate the idle time variance. The formula to calculate the idle time variance is standard rate per hour into idle time. Standard rate per hour is they are given in the problem for men 0.80 and idle hours we need to calculate idle hours for men. So while calculating idle hours we need to take actual figures. The actual in to produce 1600 units we need that gang consists of 40 workers and the idle hours is 4. Total idle hours is 160 for in case of men. In case of women 10 workers, it is this 40, 10 and 5 this consist in actual composition and idle hours is 4, it comes to the 40 and in case of boys 5 workers and number of idle hours is 4, it comes to the 20. So let's go to we'll calculate the idle time variance for men. Standard time is 0.80 and idle hours is 160, it comes to the 128. In like that we need to calculate for women and boys. Total idle time variance is 160. Next we are going to calculate the labor mix variance. Labor mix variance is equal to revised standard hours minus actual hours into standard rate. Okay, before solving the labor mix variance we need to calculate the revised standard hours. What is the standard hours given in the problem? Standard hours given in the problem is in case of men are given 1200. 1200 minus 120 is the idle hours in case of men. Okay, so 1200 minus 120 comes to the 1080. In case of actual hours, total actual hours given in the problem is 1600 minus idle hours is 160, it comes to the 1440 into 0.80, it comes to the 288. In case of women, total standard hours is 600 minus 60 is the idle hours, it comes to the 540. In case of actual hours, In case total actual hours is 400 minus 40, it comes to the 360. In case of boys, total standard hours is 400 minus idle hours is 40, it comes to the 360. In case of actual hours, total actual hours is 200 minus 20 is the idle hours, it comes to the 180. Total and total labor mix variance is 108 adverse. Next we are going to calculate the labor revised efficiency variance. Formula to calculate the labor revised efficiency variance is standard hours for actual output minus revised standard hours into standard rate. See, already we calculated the standard hours for actual output. The standard hours for actual output is for men 960, for women 480, for boys 320. Revised standard hours is 1080, 540 and 360, already we calculated here. So the total labor revised efficiency variance is 148. And I want to tell you one more thing. See, idle time variance always unfavorable, because say, idle is represent loss. It is always unfavorable. Last we need to calculate the labor yield variance. Labor yield variance is equal to actual yield minus standard yield into standard yield price. So actual yield they are given in the problem. Actual yield means output. Actual output is 1600 and we need to calculate the standard yield. Standard yield is equal to the 2000 is the output. To manufacture 2000 units we need to spend 2200 labor hours. In that 2200 labor hours we need to deduct the idle labor hours. It comes to the 1980. So the standard yield is 1800 and we need to also calculate the standard yield price. Standard yield price is equal to total cost labor cost. Total standard labor cost is 1480 to manufacture 2000 units. Per unit value is 0.70. So if you substitute the formula, actual yield is 1600, standard yield is 1800 into 0.70, it comes to the 148 adverse. So one more thing we have to keep in mind, labor efficiency variance and labor yield variance gives the same answer. See, labor revised efficiency variance is 148 and labor yield variance also 148. The both variances, variances may be labor revised efficiency variance or labor yield variance, which gives the same answer. So we can check the answers. Labor cost variance is equal to labor rate variance plus labor efficiency variance. And one more check is labor efficiency variance is equal to either time variance plus labor mix variance plus labor yield variance. It also gives the same answer. Thank you for watching my video.